Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, it's Anelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, it's Anelli here. So, today we're talking about Rob Dibble and some of the things that he talked about with regard to the Houston Astros. Now, a lot of people have been commenting, Matt, what do you think about Dibble's perspective? What do you think about what he said? A lot of people seem to enjoy and like what he said, and I actually hadn't seen it. When he came out with the last couple of days, I've been back at baseball, super busy. Didn't see it. Wanted to get to it, though. I went last night and watched, the interview that he did. He brings up a lot of interesting points. And he's someone that, will really speak his mind and really doesn't give a you-know-what. And so, if you guys don't know who Rob Dibble is, pitched for the Cincinnati Reds, part of the Nasty Boys. I don't know if you guys remember that. So, back in, he won the 1990 World Series. I was 5 years old at that point. So, I don't really remember him pitching, but I remember watching videos of him. Guy threw hard as hell, big, strong guy, scary, beat the hell out of me. I do remember, I don't know if you guys have probably seen this, somebody bunted against him at some point, and he ran down the line, picked it up, and then he just fired it into the dude's back, which was awesome. So Rob's not messing around, okay? And he came out and said a bunch of stuff. I mean, I wrote down a bunch of things here. He tells the Astros to enjoy your stolen World Series, talks a lot about the commissioner, talks about how the whole situation was handled, talks about Chirinos and the thing flopping off his body or somewhere on his body or his bat or something. And so I wanted to get into this. We've talked a lot about this situation, but he brings up a lot of things that other people aren't really bringing up. And I kind of like his perspective. I like some of the things he talked about. So I want to talk mostly to you guys and let me know. We're going to go through this and just let me know what you think about this. Any points that you really agree with. Anything new that he brought up that you like or you dislike. So let's first start off with, his thoughts on how this situation was handled from the commissioner's point of view. And Rob ain't messing around. He doesn't mix his words. He says, this is the worst handling of a bad situation in the history of baseball. Rob Manfred, who is an excellent labor lawyer, failed miserably. So he's coming right out, shots fired at the commissioner. Now, this is a little bit of a long quote that he has right here. But I want to go through it because he gets into some details. He said, this is about Rob Manfred, the commissioner. He said, he went to the players and said, hey, listen, our investigation is going to be mainly what you tell us. So we're going to base how we do this whole investigation on whether or not you are truthful with us. Now, if you go to any criminal that has committed a crime and you ask them to rat themselves out, how truthful do you think they're going to be? So they gave some half-truths to some of the things that the MLB already knew through Mike Fiers, but that was it. Even the commissioner yesterday said, yeah, well, there was some contradictory testimony about the postseason and whether or not they cheated in 2017. And then the reporter asked, well, where was the misinformation? And he said, well, that came from the players. Of course they're going to lie. They're not going to out themselves and out the World Series of 2017. Really shoddy investigation. Dig deeper. The fans of baseball are digging deeper on YouTube and finding all kinds of great information, including Chirinos' at-bat during the postseason when something falls off his shirt. And he picks it up, and it's caught in his thumb, and he can't get it off, and it looks like something you would see inside of a cell phone. There is damning information if you really want to find it, and MLB doesn't want to find it. Okay. Bunch of stuff right there. First off, have you guys seen the Chirinos video? It's online. You can find it if you just type it in, Chirinos World Series at bat or Chirinos buzzer or something like that. And it's pretty obvious that something falls off of him. And he sees it on the ground and he scurries over quickly. He picks it up and he tries to put it in his back pocket. He can't get it in his back pocket. He's pushing and pushing and it's like stuck on his finger and he can't get it off. And everyone's looking around like, what the hell is this? And it doesn't look, I can't think of what it could possibly be other than something illegal. I mean, I don't know what else would fall off of you that you would pick it up that quickly. No, like like right away. Oh, pick it up and try to put it away. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Do you guys have any ideas? But anyway, so you've got that. And I agree. I think this is interesting because a lot of people say, anytime you bring up anything about buzzers or any of that stuff, people are quick to say, MLB investigated. They didn't find anything. And that is, I guess, technically true. They did investigate, and they claim they didn't find anything. But I wonder, with just kind of like Rob said here, they don't want to find anything. I don't think so. Major League Baseball, I think, wants to try to clean this stuff up, and obviously they need to do the investigation, and somebody needs to get in trouble here because everybody knows that they cheated. But how much trouble and how far do we really, like, how many things does Major League Baseball actually want to find? Like, they don't. I feel like if you find out that they use that buzzers, that the Astros use buzzers, or they use some type of wearable devices, man, that is going to cause a lot of problems for Major League Baseball. Because at that point, it looks like things would have gotten completely out of control. And people are going to be, if people are mad now, imagine how much worse this would be if people knew that not only did the Astros cheat in 17 and parts of 18 with their bang on trash cans, but in 19 they went to a buzzer system and using wearable devices, and they almost won the World Series because of that. Imagine if they won the World Series and then it came out this happened. How much of a fool would... the commissioner would look ridiculous for the fact that he allowed this to happen. Even if he said he didn't know about it. Just the fact that this could have happened under his watch. But man, we talk about the integrity of baseball being shot because of 2017. Imagine this. So MLB, let's say you do your investigation, and let's say you find out, obviously, that teams cheated, and players say, yeah, we use a trash can, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, we found that. Okay, guys, how much deeper do they really want to dig? Let's say they had an idea that they were buzzers. Does Major League Baseball really want to come out with that and dig into that and figure it out? Or do they just say, okay, listen, you guys cheated in 17? We're going to put out some rules that make sure no one else cheats. Don't frickin' do it again. We're not going to dig into this buzzer thing. Knock it off. Let's start fresh in 2020. I feel like that's probably a much easier route and better route for Major League Baseball to go than to actually continue to try to dig deeper and find more stuff. And I just feel like that's really going to piss people off. And that's what it sounds like. That's what Dibble's point of view is, that there's more stuff out there. Dig deeper. But they don't want to do that. Now, here's the other thing. And this is, I find interesting too. When asked about buzzers and stuff, now some people have come out and be like, absolutely not, didn't happen. When AJ Hinch was asked about it by Tom Verducci in that interview, they said, Tom says, did you guys use buzzers? Straight up. Did you use buzzers in 2019? And he doesn't say no. He doesn't say absolutely not, we did not use buzzers. He says, well, MLB did an investigation and, basically they didn't find anything. And other players have said the same thing. But just because MLB did an investigation and didn't find anything, that doesn't mean you didn't do it. And that's not a real answer. He said, did you use it? And your answer should be no or yes, but you're not going to say yes if you did it, I'm assuming. So your answer should be no. Now, maybe AJ Hinch says, you know what? Things were going on without my knowledge. And I don't know, maybe people were using it. But I don't know. But I'm not going to say no if I'm not 100% sure, because what if it comes out down the road they were using it, then they're really going to call me a liar. But in that case, if I'm him, I think I would say, to my knowledge, we never used buzzers or a buzzer system or any type of wearable electronic. And if you're telling the truth, if you said to your knowledge, if people were using it, hey, that's on them. And I didn't know that the guy had a buzzer in his shoe. What the hell? Am I supposed to inspect his cleats before every game? Like, I'm the manager. I'm not the frickin', whatever. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I know a lot of Astros fans have really been upset about this and said, they've multiple times said, there's been an investigation, that's what's found. Like, leave it alone. You people are making up stuff and you're just searching for stuff. Maybe, or maybe not. Okay, more thoughts from Rob Dibble. He said the players should have been punished. If you have to file grievances or go to court about it, let that happen. Let it play out in the courts. You don't protect the minority just like you did in the steroid era. And now you're putting it on the players to what? Throw at players? To get some kind of punishment? That's bullcrap too. The players shouldn't have to be put in this position to begin with. The commissioner failed to do his job, uphold the integrity of the game. That's why commissioners were brought in 1919. Those 8 players got lifetime bans. You could have banned a couple of players and fought that out in the court system. So Dibble's for banning players, or just having some type of punishment to players. And I think most people believe that this is what should have happened. Now, I know the commissioner came out and said we couldn't do it because we sent the memo to the GM of the Astros, and the GM never got it down to the players and never warned the players about it. And therefore, if we suspended players or punished players, we would have had to go to court because the Players Association would have fought it and said, you never told our players that there was going to be any punishment. And they didn't want to go to court and do all that. And that might be true. And that would have happened. There's no way the Players Association was going to be like, oh, you suspended all of those, the whole team for a year? Like, okay, cool. They were going to obviously fight it. But maybe you say, I don't really care if you're going to fight it. They cheated. They did it knowingly. It was a player, they keep saying player-run scheme, but I think we're learning more and more that maybe it wasn't just the players. But you're suspended, and you want to fight it? Go ahead, fight it. Good luck. They could have done that, but they didn't. So, and the other interesting point that he brings up is when you don't suspend the players, when you don't punish the players, you are now kind of putting it into the other players from opposing teams' hand and saying, okay, like those players want retribution now. They want payback. And so they're like, all right, now we'll just start hitting guys. And then we're going to brawl on the field. And then we're going to try to beat the hell out of each other. And so you are putting it in the players' hands a little bit. If you suspended the players, it did something. Now, Dibble's talking about banning them. I don't know how long he's talking about banning them for. I think a lifetime ban would be a little excessive. But maybe they do get suspended for, I don't know, a year. I mean, that's a huge suspension too. I don't know. But it is true. You are kind of putting it in the players' hands now to say, okay, you guys figure it out, right? They always said, oh, baseball is a game that's settled, it's settled on the field, and players police themselves. Well, it's a pretty serious deal to have players policing themselves because we already talked in another video. There's not a whole lot of ways to police yourselves. Usually the way to police yourself is you take a baseball and you throw it at somebody. That's quite dangerous. Do we really want that going on? Do we want players to feel like they have to take matters into their own hands because the commissioner didn't do anything about punishing the players? So we're at an interesting point there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Anyways, really interesting quotes here and perspective from Rob Dibble. I like how he just speaks his mind. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't sugarcoat. I know a lot of people, I know Astros fans will probably be a little bit upset about what he said, but what do you guys think? If you are an Astros fan or you're not, put in the comment section below. I'd be interested to hear your point of view. And I can't say I disagree with a lot of those points that he made. Anyways, that's what we got. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you to our patrons out there on Patreon who help support the channel. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we throw out a new video, which is quite often now that we're getting to baseball season. And that's all we got. We'll talk to you later.